Fantastic. A very good morning, good evening, wherever you're following us. This is 24 political discussion, and here we want also to discuss some of things that may happen tomorrow. Saba Saba, that is 7/7, and this is where we are having Gen Z, and we have Gen Z saying they are going to be on the streets again. Aye. After the other day, we saw a lot of properties being dismantled, a lot of theft happening. Now we are having the Gen Z saying that Saba Saba lazima tufike, lazima tuwakilishe vizuri, tuonyeshe serikali pia hatujachoka. Gen Z, we have a Gen Z, Alex. He will be giving us his views about tomorrow, if we will be joining them in the streets or not. Karibu sana, tuambie uko wapi, mmekula ugali huko, and what is the plan? What is the plan for tomorrow?
So, good. It's almost good morning, but good evening to you, Bonnie. Thank you for hosting me this Sunday evening, and I'm happy to be here watching live from Langata 1534. And actually, I've been listening to some nimekuwa X nikitafuta ma space to hear what people planning about tomorrow, and as from my research, Bonnie, sijapata the hype that I was expecting. I was expecting a lot of hype about tomorrow, but nikiingia pale X, I am not finding kenye nilikuwa natafuta. So I don't know how people wamepanga tomorrow, but I'm not even seeing the flyers as I saw on the 25th. So I have a premonition that Bonnie, tomorrow's protest won't be as lively as the 25th, because I don't think the Gen Z resonate so much with the Saba Saba. For them, the big day is the 25th, which people showed up in large numbers. But tomorrow, I believe people will be on the streets, but not as many as they were on the 25th, because I think hype imepotea kidogo on the protest. But we hope for the best for tomorrow, and no lives should be lost in tomorrow's protest. We pray that peace prevails from the citizens and from the police, and we also pray for the better nation. Ndio maana leo tulikuwa church. Anyway, those are my opening remarks. Thank you.
Tomorrow 7, that is Saba Saba. So tomorrow it will be 7. The 7th of July 2025. Almost the second phase of the year is already expiring. What have you achieved as a follower of Africa 24? We have been here for the last few years in Africa 24 discussing what is happening, because the focus is 2027, and you know that Kenya is preparing to get a new leader. Maybe we replace the Kenya Kwanza government. Maybe we get a new leader, but those are just speculations. But what is the focus for tomorrow? Raila Odinga, of course, is the head of ODM party leader. So he said that the Gen Z must come together tomorrow in one of the stadiums in Nairobi, and they pray together for what is happening in the country. They come together without damages and also theft, and also people being on the streets trying to loot properties. That was Raila Odinga. And of course, some people have raised concerns about this. I have also seen a comment from the NCCK whereby they said that, of course, they were saying that the security agencies should uphold and also protect human rights. So the peaceful demonstrators also ahead of the Saba Saba commemoration. Of course, it will be on a Monday, 7, that is tomorrow. So we have 5 minutes to tomorrow, but I was also reading about what is happening, and today, tomorrow marking 35 years since the historic day, 1990 rally that sparked Kenya's journey to multiparty democracy, because you remember there is that time when Kenya had a single party democracy. So in 1990 we had leaders who campaigned for multi-party democracy. That is where we have a DCP now. We also have Kenya Kwanza. We also have ODM. We also have ile chama ya Martha Karua, PLP, People's Liberation Party. We also have a lot of political parties. So in 1990, that is when we
PCP.
had that multi-party democracy. Those who followed history, they know that in 1990 is when we had that multi-party democracy. And now the Saba Saba protests come amidst the wave of those demonstration. And of course, they are demanding for political accountability and also the economic justice. That is what that 5 years the Saba Saba marks. So I was also following that statement, and they're saying that police also they should guarantee. You know, the police have been complaining for long. They should guarantee safety for all protesters, and remain partial for the discharge of their duties. So police have been complained. They have been pointed out as the key factors who are contributing to the protesters coming out and also talking a lot. Alex, 1990 we had that. History. I used to to do history when I was in primary school, and I remember that time there were the likes of Matiba. But I'll be giving you those information. There is that time when we had the single party democracy, and that was during the Moi tenure, whereby we had the single party democracy. I just want to ask you: do you think that this single party democracy, if we are having single party democracy right now, just give us your view if we could be having single party democracy. What is your view now? If we could be having Kenya Kwanza only that is ruling and there is no any other political party.
So, okay, Bonnie, that's a good question. If we only had a single party, which I think during the Moi days, I think it was Nyayoism, something like that. Ama nimekosea, correct me. I think it was Nyayoism, the single party. So if we had that, first of all, Bonnie, there would be no activism. There would be no opposition. There would be no one to keep the government in check. And from what we are seeing right now, Bonnie is imagine if Bonnie, the way things are very bad in the country. Imagine if Bonnie people are not speaking. How worse would it be in the country? You see, so those are the questions we have to be raising. If we are still in the single party body, and Kenya is still not yet so developed, and we have multi party, and we have a constitution which is not respected, and we have the rule of law. So imagine if we only had a single party, the Kenya Kwanza, then I think Boni would be worse than even countries like Tanzania. I think would be on the level of countries like Burundi, and so even would be at war like South Sudan. Would be very behind in terms of developments, in terms of things like healthcare, education system, things like, let's say, the entertainment, the sports, would be very behind in terms of development. So multipartism, has been good, but I do feel we can do better in terms of democracy, in terms of integrity, and in terms of respecting the constitution, which I've been saying for a long time. The constitution has to be respected.
So constitution must be respected. Raila Odinga was in the activist forum in 1990 when we had that multi-party democracy campaign. What do you have to say about Raila Odinga being in politics still up to now?
I believe Raila has done his part in the time where he was on the side of citizens. He has advocated for his people, and his people really really love him. But I don't think right now Raila is somebody we should be talking about, because I think time yake imepita and he has failed to raise a new leader. Amekaa kwa game sana, unaona, and the great PLO Lumumba told us once, Boni, that a great dancer knows when to leave the stage. So I believe that's where Odinga has failed. He hasn't known when to leave the stage and to raise the new leaders. So by him failing, it's where we're seeing the likes of Babu Owino coming up, the likes of Sifuna coming up, and so. But I believe we could have raised leaders and endorsed them. But either way, You see, also Bonnie, you are a football fan, unajua. The Cristiano Ronaldo knew when it was time for him to leave Europe and go and join the Saudi league, unaona, because alijua time yake imeisha. So I think that's where Raila Odinga has failed, and he tried to join kuenda AU, but it's a good thing he failed because his intentions weren't right. So for now, wacha tu tuseme akae kwa serikali, hata kama hana cheo, akae huko na Ruto. Wacha waunganishe nchi venye wamekuwa wakisema. I don't know which nation they are uniting because the citizens are united against them. Then tupatane 2027 and we see we see what's going to happen.
But under 2027, Raila Odinga has been there. So in 1990, yeah, a lot of things happened because that is the year when Kenya political party. Also, I was reading about the history of 1990. So that is the year when Kenya political history unfolded, and we had a lot of things happening in the country. We had a lot of people, and the likes of Kennedy Matiba were there, but also William Ruto was there. So it started way back from what I was reading, and it was during the year 1982 when Kenya had already had that one-party democracy, and of course the constitution was amended to make one party. That is the party that used to rule, and ilikuwa ni lazima KANU ikuwe ni chama moja. So that was during Moi era. In 1982, I was not born, so I don't know what happened. But President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, he was the leader of the KANU. So he was the one who controlled the political space, and also he was suppressing dissent through detention, censorship, and also intimidation. If we are having Kenya Kwanza as the political party right now, with this abduction, with this disappearance of the blogger,
There's a small issue with your mic, Bonnie. The audio is
you're
a
not
bit
able to hear me.
distorted. I hear you, but at some point you get unclear. So please pardon.
I was trying to say it was during 1982 whereby Kenya National, of course, that was KANU, and KANU was the Kenya African Union. KANU was the only political party that was ruling the country. So now, for example, if you're having Kenya Kwanza, and also that is the UDA as the political party that is ruling currently with this abduction, do you think even the ICC might have just came in to control things? Because I was just thinking, what will happen if we're having one political party whereby they are controlling us? Because they're even controlling us from what we're saying. They're controlling us from what we're saying. But anyway, tomorrow we must be back here. Saba Saba. Use.
Your audio, Bonnie, it's a bit distorted. Some point unasikika, some point na kupoteza kidogo.
I'm not audible.
I'm saying you are audible 75%. Your 25 ingine you are not audible.
I don't know the problem. I don't know the problem. I don't know the problem. But anyway,
You should
you can
speak a bit
also
loudly.
say something. Say something about protest tomorrow. Is it possible for Kenyans to hold protests without looting properties?
So that's it's I can back up what I want to say. So last year, before the June 25th protest about the finance bill, we had two protests, one which was held the previous Tuesday and Thursday, then now the June 25th. So before that, Bonnie, we had two protests whereby celebrities, many of them from various parts of the country, joined the protest. If we can go back, Bonnie, the first one, which was held, Bonnie. Many people were in town, and no property was lost. It was just the citizens playing cat and mouse with the with the police. They were running, they were being tear gassed, they are being thrown water canisters, but no property was looted. So and then we can say the same for the second protest, but we can say the same for the second one. But as it went on, Bonnie, the protests were infiltrated by by police. Not sorry, not by police. As it went on, the protests were infiltrated by goons, and it was politicized. And in the process of the demonstrations being politicized is when we started seeing goons coming up, trying to fight protesters, and after them trying to fight protesters is when now we started seeing property being looted. So it became like an opportunity for people to use it. You see, even right now, Bonnie, we're having allegations of women being raped after the protests, and I don't know how true it is, but I so the thing is this: as the protests go by, Bonnie, politicians try to infiltrate it. They try to come up with ways to try and ruin it, or I don't know what to say they try to do, but they try to ruin it in some way. So hata ni juzi nilikuwa naona I think it was Mutai Kagwe, the former CS, was speaking about the people who are looting people's properties and destroying are not the young people. Those are goons who are being sent by the police. So we can have protests, Bonnie, that are civilized, and we have seen that for the first time in the country in a very long while, tumekuwa protests peaceful. So if the police really want the protest, Bonnie, to be more peaceful, they will work on they will focus more on working with the citizens rather than working with the goons.
But we saw the other day Oscar Sweet saying that the police now they have been instructed to deal with the goons properly when it comes to those who are trying to steal. Because I was also following on what happened around the Westland, whereby a lot of people lost their properties. A lot of people, and I was following that Mama Boga there who lost even all the groceries during that protest. So, hundreds from the close friends, the likes of Oscar Sudi, whereby he said that we are not going to allow anyone who is going to get to the police station. We saw in Kikuyu, whereby the police station was set on fire. In Maweni, whereby Albert Ojang was detained, was set by the protesters. Police, also the police were asked by NCCK to handle these protesters with care. Do you think our police are able to do this? Are they able to hold these protesters without even throwing tear gas and also trying to shoot? Because every protest you have to get people being killed, taken to hospitals. Because if you see what is happening in Kenya and what is happening in the USA, because also I saw USA protesting about the high cost of living after the Donald Trump era. Do you think Kenya can also have these peaceful protests, like tukue tu tunatoka tu JKIA tunaenda mpaka Nairobi CBD bila kuguza vitu za watu yani?
Absolutely, Bonnie. Absolutely, 100%. But for that to happen, first of all, the citizens don't have tear gas or water canisters to throw at the police. It's the police who have the opportunity to throw at them. Kama uliona last year, Bonnie, the only weapon which the people had was Colgate and water and face mask. Now, what is it called? Now, a phone to record. That was the weapon which Kenyans had, while the police they were armed. Bonnie, walikuwa risasi. They even had a sniper. Kama if speaking as somebody who went there to the streets, walikuwa hadi na sniper. So that shows you, Bonnie, if we really want a peaceful protest, Bonnie, it must start with the CS of the interior security, Bonnie, for him to order the police to work hand in hand with the citizens who are protesting to ensure their safety. And in fact, Bonnie, it would be easier if the police just worked with the ones who are protesting, so that they can be able to easily identify the goons who are trying to infiltrate the protests, trying to loot people's property and to wreak havoc in the Nairobi CBD. But quite the opposite happens, Bonnie, because even the cabinet, the CS for Interior Security, does not uh, does not try to ensure like a peaceful protest goes on. He sends out the police to go and retaliate against the people. You see, and by him doing that, Bon, he has already caused like he has started a fight against the people. But I believe if he sends them out and tells them, go and work hand in hand with the protesters to ensure their safety, I think that would be easier, Bonnie, to identify the goons. Because if you're working with the people who are not causing any problem, then it will be easier. Even the citizens themselves, they will help you to identify the ones who are trying to loot people's property or to try and steal from people and to damage the to damage the protest. Even that way, Bonnie, it would be easier if you catch one or two of them. You can ask them to tell you who has sent them, and by them being caught, they will have to say which politician is the one who has sent them. Thank you.
And I'm telling you, if today Raila Amolo Odinga left this government, the central people from central Kenya will come back. The problem we have today is this, Trevor. Since our Independence Day up to today, there are normally two centers of power of politics in these countries, and these two centers of power can never be on the same space politically. One end of the space is currently being held by Raila Odinga, and this other center of power is held by the central people of Kenya. These two centers can never be on the same space politically, and that is the fundamental problem, first of all, before any of all these other things. And the reason as to why I'm saying this, even if you ask the central people from central Kenya, like my friend Jerry, what did Uhuru Kenyatta do extremely what was so extraordinary that Uhuru Kenyatta did to the central people? Nothing. What happened is that the moment Raila Odinga joined government, they left it. The moment they heard Raila Odinga was going to join Ruto's government, they left it. And if you look at it, even why I'm saying this is because these two centers of power can never be together. The current protest is being done by the people from this central center of power. And even if you look at the characteristics of what it is used, they say it's tribalists, they're leaders, they're whatever. These are characteristics that are normally with people who come from the Bantu center of, Bantu's characteristic culturally, they were underworked under decentralized structures. What next? And I've explained now what
so the complex. This is tribal.
There's a tribal connotation to this thing, and I'm telling you, Trevor, if Raila Odinga left this government today, this center of power will come back to government.
So the I'm telling you, Raila, you agree?
No.
I want you,
and you hear it's coming out well. It's coming out well.
I'm trying to pursue this line of tribal thinking because this has been what has been a big challenge for the nation. But I thought the young people said that
the more things change, the more they still remain the same. Even if you go to these institutions of higher learning, there are still tribal regroupings. You'll find the Onagi, you'll find the Mount Kenya grouping, you'll find the Coastal. The more things change, the more they still remain the same. And I'm telling you, if today Raila Amolo Odinga left this government, the people from central Kenya will come back. Second thing, I'll say this. The young people are focusing on the wrong horse, as I think my friend had alluded. President Ruto is going to be the president of Kenya for the next 10 years, and I think most people know this. If the young people could focus on just getting 300 MPs into parliament, elect Njeri as the women rep, elect Marco as the member of parliament for Moroni, elect Trevor as the MP for Nyakach, elect our brother as the MP of Malava, and so on. You have 300 MPs who are, Gen Z or the young bracket. They could elect their speaker. They could impeach President Ruto whenever they want. Imagine if we had 40 senators in in Parliament, we could pass any money bills that we want. Imagine if we had 40 young governors. So we are focusing on the wrong horse when the real actual place where we could do comes to the legislative arm of government and the county delegated places of governance.
So then you're agreeing that this is time for the young people to step up then?
Exactly.
Okay.
This is Legrand from Simple Generations.
Alex, did you hear what that young man is saying? Do you agree with what he's saying?
For me, Bonnie, I can't be biased. I'd say the guy has some strong points on some issues, but the part where I disagree with him is the part where he's saying that these Gen Z demonstrations are let me say like he's trying to mean that his Gen Z demonstrations it's Kikuyus who are trying to hide behind, of which Bonnie is very wrong, because if you look at place like Nairobi is cosmopolitan. True or not true? Hi Gypsecon, I see you there in the comment section. Karibu so much. Welcome, big up to you. RIP to Diogo Jota manze. But continue as I was saying. Nairobi is cosmopolitan. A place like Mombasa is also cosmopolitan. Even somewhere like Nakuru is cosmopolitan. None. So you can't say these are Kikuyus trying to hide behind to try and do activism and wakijaribu kupinga hii serikali. The people who are out there in the streets, Bonnie, anyone who has gone there, you will see 18, 19, 20, 21 year olds. You will see baby kids hapo kwa ground hapo. You would see them trying to protest. And once you go to the streets, Bonnie, which criteria is being used to determine which tribe is that one that is out there in the streets? I don't think there is any tool or any factor that can convince me, Bonnie, that it's Kikuyus out there in the streets. If protests happen in Nyeri or even a place like Gatundu, yes, I can say that's Kikuyu. But if protests happen, Bonnie, in cosmopolitan areas, those are just Kenyans out there in the streets because they're fed up with the government. Even if you listen to the space, Bonnie, there is a common Kenyan phrase, ile yenye watu wanasema siri ni numbers. So who said that siri ni numbers? It's Cyprian. Is Cyprian from the mountain? No. And those people, Bonnie, if you ever enter as X space, you won't know who is from which tribe or wherever. People come, they speak their minds, and people try to come up with ideas better for this nation. People plan for the protests there, and they actualize them. So actually, Bonnie, the moment you see Kenyans are out there in the streets, protests are happening in 25 counties. That shows you, Bonnie, that people are fed up with this country, and you can't say it's Kikuyus all over the country. Even Bonnie, protests will happen even in my village in Kisii huko. So you can't say those are Kikuyus. It's just Kenyans who are fed up with this government.
Yes. Gypsy, I can see you in the comment section. Umenilenga sana lakini ni sawa tu. Umecheza chini sana. Message zangu huko na kuwekea tu. Sijui kama unaziona. So if you're joining us here for the first time, you make sure you subscribe to Africa 24. This is the political discussion that happens here every day at 10 p.m. all the way to midnight. That is East African time. So where are you following us from? Make sure you give us your views about what do you expect from Kenyans tomorrow as we mark the Saba Saba. And this is after the 1990, whereby those who were born, that is during that time when you were born, that time, that is the time that we aired those protests for the multi-party democracy. Multi-party democracy 1990. So tomorrow we're marking 35 years. Where are you following us from? Make sure you share your views about tomorrow's protest. Is it going to be peaceful? Is it going to be the same way we have been saying? Raila Odinga has made a statement today saying that let's converge. Let's talk about our country with peace. And also some of the activists that will be playing their clips here. But let's listen to what Baba Raila has said.
This Saba Saba, okay, it was a very noble idea. Saba Saba was meant to bring the people together for a common cause. And this cause was change. And we decided that we would go to Kamukuni grounds, which is historical grounds. This is where the last Kenya African Union meeting was held in 1952, before the declaration of the state of emergency. And that is again where, when they allowed for formation of political parties, again, the first rally of Canon was held in Kamukuni. So Kamukuni, that is also why eventually when they lifted Section 2A and allowed for formation of political parties, and the first party to be registered was the Forum for Restoration of Democracy. The first rally was held at Kamukuni. So we say that the Kamukuni has got a historical meaning, and that's why we wanted to go there. So what we're saying is that if you want to remember Saba Saba, then we go to Kamukuni. I always go to Kamukuni, even quietly, but I always go there on Saba Saba Day to just go and remember the people who lost their lives there. So my idea would be we go to Kamukuni tomorrow, because if you're talking about protesting, you are protesting, where is this protest going to start? And where is it going to? My view would be the road should lead to Kamukuni. And then in Kamukuni, people meet there and pass a resolution. This is what we want, the Kenya we want. To me, that would be the best way to remember people who have died fighting for the right of the people of Kenya.
Mzee said that. Do you agree with what Mzee is saying? Before you respond to that, demonstrations are not tribal. I mean, they are trying to make tribes fight. So political. So political, that is what Gypsy Kono is saying in the comment section there. And you can also share your views if you agree with what Raila Odinga is saying. He has been there. He was there in 1990. He was among the activists, and he still is active in the politics of the country. Kamukuni, kesho, Alex, utaenda Kamukuni?
Kamukuni kuenda Boni ngumu. As I say, Boni, it's unfortunate. I cannot relate to most of the things that Raila Odinga is saying because I wasn't at that time, Boni. Maybe our senior Mzalendo can tell us how it happened in the 90s. Sisi tu tulikuwa tunazisoma kwa history, and you know history can be biased, but I tend to believe he did something for this nation. And if tomorrow is going to Kamukuni to celebrate Boni, why should we stop him? Let him go and remember. Let him go and remember some of the things that happened, because it's a historical moment also for him. So for us, it's just the people who are going to join Odinga in remembering the Saba Saba Day. Good for them. But for tomorrow, I don't think tomorrow's protests are well planned. So people should not think of protesting tomorrow. Think kesho too. People find better ways. They can even go to Uhuru Park and sing, dance, and remember the heroes of last year. Yeah, that's what I think. But for Raila going to Kamukuni grounds, well and good for him, Boni. Wacha ende akumbuke the things that happened before the multipartyism, and akumbuke pia na wafuasi wake.
Before I play one of the activists here, President also spoke about his protests in because the protests are ongoing in his country.
So wacha nimalizie hapo, niseme nimefurahi sana kufika hapa Embu. Vile nimesema nitarudi hapa mwezi ujao kwa mambo ya barabara zenu na kazi ile ingine yote ambayo tuko nayo ya kupeleka taifa letu la Kenya mbele. Mimi nataka niombe viongozi wa dini na viongozi wa Kristo na wale wengine wote tushirikiane na tuombee taifa letu, ili pepo mbaya ambayo inasababisha furugu, mali kuharibika, michafuko, fujo, hiyo pepo ishindwe katika taifa letu la Kenya. We want a peaceful nation. Tunataka taifa yenye iko na amani, ndio tufanye maendeleo, tubadilishe taifa letu la Kenya. Asanteni sana kwa kunikaribisha hapa Embu. Nitarudi tena katika shughuli ya maendeleo ya sehemu hii. Mimi nawatakia heri, nawatakia baraka. Mwathani amurathime muno kabisa. Mungu Mungu awabariki sana jameni, na nawapenda sana. Sasa sijui Bishop, tutaendesha hii maneno namna gani? Wewe ndio utatusaidia kutupatia maelezo ama maelekezo. Na mimi najua vijana wa hapa Embu nasikia walikuwa wamesema kuna mambo ya michezo, sijui football na mambo ingine. Mheshimiwa Governor, nitakupatia shilingi 1,000,000 uende usota utio maneno ya hawa vijana wetu. Vijana wa hapa Kigari muko? Wakati mimi napanga kuajiri walimu ni wapange pia, lakini simutamaliza course kwanza jameni. Mnamaliza lini? Next year? Bas, niko na mpango ya mwisho wa next year pia, kwa sababu nataka nimalizie, kwa sababu niliahidi wa Kenya nitaajiri walimu 1116.
Rais amekemea pepo la maandamano nchini. That is what President Ruto also addressed today while he was in Embu discussing about the protests that are ongoing, and maybe tomorrow they will be happening in this country. But a lot of people have been losing properties during this protest, whereby people are coming out to push the government. But tomorrow it will be commemoration of 1990, multiparty democracy. Alice, do you think the president is happy since he took power in 2022? Is he happy the way he was happy during the campaign?
Bonnie, I'll take you back to immediately after the president won the election. There are some preachers who made some predictions. Let me call them some prophecies. One of them is Pastor Tim Mwangi, and Pastor Tim Mwangi prophesied that the president is going to have a very, very difficult term, and also Pastor Ezekiel or Prophet Ezekiel also predicted something similar of the president having a very difficult time during his tenure as the president. And also people like there are many pastors who predicted like the president isn't going to have a smooth running. And after that, some people walikuja wakasema the fake preachers and whatsoever, but God is real, and the prophecies are there, so it's evident. And so I believe this regime wasn't built, Bonnie, on integrity. It wasn't built on serving Kenyans. And you see, Bonnie, once the basis of any what is it called? Once the foundation, Bonnie, of leadership is not on the basis of serving Kenyans, it is bound to fall. So if the president had the best interest of the country at heart, Boni, by right now, we would be seeing the fruits of his labor. But up to now, Boni, and you see, Boni, last year, people gave him a wake up call. Three protests were held, which were very major. Two the week before the June 25th. Now the June 25th where parliament ilichomwa. So that should have been a wake up call for the president kumonyesha enyewe ground ni hostile. But the president never responded well because Boni, it's now been 1 year later, Boni, and still Boni, we still have problems. SHA is not working. The education system, Boni, it's failing. It's very, very terrible. The economy, Boni, economy yetu ni mbaya. Even Boni, the sports sector, there's still a lot needs to be done. The entertainment sector, Boni, still has many issues that need to be resolved. So you see, 1 year later, Boni, the issues that we had are yet to be resolved, which makes people even angrier. And you see, 2027 is not far. We only have next year, and once next year is over, we go into the elections. So the president, if he really wanted to salvage his to salvage the little that is left, he could have done projects. He could have finished many things within the time span that he was given to the citizens and accounted for them so that the Kenyans can see what he's doing. But he hasn't done anything because we still have the same problems from last year up to this year. And 1 year later, Boni, people are still on the streets. And 1 year later, even next year, they will still go back to the streets and they will go to the streets as many times until this regime is out of power. So if he really had the best interest for this country, Boni, the best thing could have done is to resign and to accept, because you cannot lead the people who don't want you. See,
resign.
Pardon. Yes, you see,
Boni,
you
resign kweli.
I'm saying if he really had the best interest for this country, could have resigned. Because you see, Boni, you cannot lead the people who don't want you. You always force yourself into leadership. That's also one of the reasons why Morara Kebaso chose to quit politics, because you can't lead people who don't want you to be in power. For you to lead the people, they should want you to be in power. So people cannot sing on social media and for ground Ruto must go, and you still remain in office saying that there are things you want to achieve. You plead the fifth, unakubali hapo. Pardon?
So continue.
Unakubali, Boni, makosa imefanyika, and you give the citizens what they want, because at the end of the day, all sovereign powers belong to the people. If the people don't want you in office, you leave office. If the people want you, you stay. They're the ones with the power. And kama uwezi tatua matatizo yao, unawacha. There are many people who can take the job and they can do it better than him.
Lakini Alex, ukisema hivyo, unajua rais, unajua is one of the leaders who I know they cannot give up easily. So hawezi kubali hata muende kwa street mara ngapi. He cannot even have that a little bit of tension. But now who can be the president? So tuseme sahi amestep, nani akwe president?
See, we have the CJ, the former CJ Maraga, and
Maraga.
Yeah, so you see, I've noticed one thing, Boni, with nimekuwa nikipitia X spaces, and I find people so Kenyans are holding our leaders going forward to 2027 on a very, very high standard. So since they're doing that, any leader who is mentioned, they look for something which you have done, then you're nullified. Like, for example, if you mention Matiang's name, people say he has not accounted for the Viala bodies, blah, 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 anatolewa. If you mention somebody like Matakarua, who is a good leader, people will say Matakarua, she participated in the 2007 election stealing, which I don't know whether it's true or not. If you mention, let's say, somebody like Rigathi, people would say Rigathi has been in power and he has done nothing better, of which I agree with it. Rigathi cannot be an option. If you mention, let's say, somebody like Alonso, people will say those are the same monkeys which are being recycled. No. So, but if you mention somebody like, let's say, Okiya Mtata or CJ Maraga, like those people, as per the Kenyan standards, which we are holding our leaders to, they are saints. So, I believe those two have what it takes to lead the nation.
Tusikie rais anasema nini hapa.
Hagai 1 mstari wa 4. Mungu anauliza, nyinyi munaishi kwa manyumba mazuri hata imewekwa mbao mzuri, alafu nyumba ya Mungu imeharibika. Hiyo swali nikiulizwa nikienda nikipatana na Mungu, mnataka nijibu namna gani? Niseme ati mimi nilikuwa nakaa State House, nyumba ya mawe imejengwa vizuri, imewekwa tiles, na kanisa ya Mungu State House ni ya mabati? Nitapita hiyo mtihani kweli mbele ya Mungu? So tafadhali nawaomba jameni, wacha nijengee Mungu kanisa hapo State House. Na sio, unajua iko fitina mingi. Wacha niwaambie, shetani ashindwe. Shetani ashindwe mfululizo. Yani sasa huyu Bishop Mureithi amenionyesha kanisa ile tunaenda kujenga mjengo ya ghorofa 10 na ngapi Bishop? 11. Ghorofa 11. Bishop ameniambia hii imefanywa makadirio ni 350 million. Mjengo ya kanisa ya ghorofa ngapi? 11. Sasa niwaulize, kanisa ya kutosha watu 300 inaweza kufika shilingi bilioni? Kama hii kanisa kama hii mjengo ya ghorofa 11 ni 300 million, kanisa ya watu 300 inaweza kufikaje 1 billion sijui na ngapi? Tafadhali jameni, wacheni porojo, wacheni propaganda, wacheni chuki. Mnachukia kanisa ya Mungu kwa sababu gani? Ile kanisa tunajenga pale, sijui hao watu wametoa wapi mabilioni. Kanisa tunajenga pale ni ya kutoshana na wale watoto wetu tuko nao pale, familia 300, tuko na Sunday school pale. Na mimi sijaanzisha, nimekuta kanisa iko hapo. Ile kitu nimefanya tu, nimesema badala ya kuwa kanisa ya mabati, wacha tujenge kanisa kama ile yenu mko naye ya mawe. Iko makosa hapo? Kuna makosa? So tafadhali wale wanatuwekea fitina mingi, utukejeli, sijui nini, tafadhali nawaomba tuheshimu neno la Mungu. Wale wako pale State House ni Wakenya kama wengine, ni Wakristo kama wengine. Tuko mpaka na chaplain. Nilisikia askofu mmoja akiuliza nani atakuwa bishop ya hiyo kanisa. Ile chaplain, tuko na chaplain ambaye anaendelea mpaka saa hii. Nilimkuta pale, si mimi kumwandika, nilimkuta pale akiwa chaplain. Ataendelea tu na hiyo kanisa vile ilivyo. Na nimesema hatutatumia pesa ya serikali kujenga ile kanisa vile nyinyi hamujatumia pesa ya serikali kujenga hii yenu. Si hii yenu ni mchango yenu ndio mnajenga naye. Sisi tukijenga naye ile ya State House tubadilishe kutoka ya mabati iwe ya mawe, iko makosa? Tuendelee ama tuendelee? Mtaniombea na wale wako State House tujenge hiyo kanisa na tufaulu. Tukiwaita mtakuja kutusaidia kujenga. Anyway, kuna mambo katika Kenya hii lakini Mungu atatusaidia.
The president is saying kuna mambo. You see how is loving. You see this kind of laughter. Ruto is even ready to use God's name in vain. That is a Gypsy corner. In the comment section, they say Ruto is ready to use God's name in vain. Alex, it's true. It's true. That is what he says. It's true that Mother Karua ring the elections and also squander the money from BAT. That is someone in the comment section here. Someone also is saying, Matandiko Comics. Karibu sana, Matandiko Comics. If you want to join us here, be part of the studio, join us. We are live here and you can be part of this conversation. The link, I'm going to share the link there. Join the link, you click the link, and then it will direct you to the studio and you become part of us. You share with us your views about tomorrow. Someone is saying same one time. That was the president addressing the issue of building a church in the State House. A church in the State House. Is this the right time we should focus with that? Or you just need to focus with development? And also Kenyans. Talk about Kenyans. You know, they complain about that. A lot about the church in the State House.
So, first of all, Boni, yenye tumesikia the amount yenye tumesikia ambayo inatumika kutengeneza church ni 1.2 billion, of which the president has come out to decline it, na ameleta church ambayo kwa State House ni ya mabati. Amesema wanafaa ijengwe ya mawe. He spoke about something like 350 million, and so there are many things, Boni, which Kenyans are questioning. The first one is, you see, Boni, there is no way we will get there is no way, Boni, the president can account na atuambie hiyo pesa yenye imetumika kutengeneza si pesa ya, it's not taxpayers money, it's his money which is being used to create the church, unaona. So if he wants to prove to Kenyans that he is using his money, Boni, let him account. And even still, if he accounts, people will still doubt him. No. So there is no way he can convince Boni, the Kenyans, that the money which is being used to create the church ni pesa yake na si pesa ya wananchi. Because right now tunaenda na evidence. We are not going as per the hearsay. Tunataka the truth. So if really indeed ni pesa yake, let him come out and account for it, tuone ni pesa yake. It's taxpayers money. We also, if he's not using taxpayers money, we want to know. So mimi nasema hiyo accountability in full ndio tunataka kuona. Thank you.
Hiyo accountability ndio tunataka kuona. Ameenda wapi sasa? Matandiko umeenda wapi? Ameenda wapi? Matoroka, rudi tena. Join us and become part of us. Kesho Saba Saba, the CS for the public service amesema there is no way kesho watu watakosa kwenda kazi. Watafanya roll call.
All the public servants in the Republic of Kenya, that Article 10 of our Constitution and Article 232 of our Constitution, which talks about the values and the principles of public service. Tomorrow, Monday, is not a public holiday. We are expected across the Republic of Kenya to be in our offices, in all the regional offices, in all the sub-county offices in the Republic of Kenya. In Nairobi, we are expected to report to work as per the human resource policies and procedures manual of public service 2016 tells us ofisi ni saa 2, kufunga ni 5 p.m. Pale Mombasa kufungua ni 7:30. Kwenda ranch pale Mombasa ni 12:30. Pale Garissa Northeastern kufungua ofisi ni 7:30. Kufunga kwenda ranch ni 12:30. That is what the human resource policies and procedures manual for public service 2016 calls us, all of us, the public servants of the Republic of Kenya. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wanasema ya kwamba ati kesho is a public holiday, we are expected to be in our offices at the required time according to the policies put in place. Na mimi kama waziri wa public service, mnajua ya kwamba I'm doing spot checks. Aunjui nitaamkia wapi kesho. Na nikifika nikute hakuna watu, then there will be letters of show cause as why you are not reporting to your workstation as the required time.
Kesho kama uingii kazi Nairobi Mombasa, waziri amesema. Unakubaliana na waziri ama Wakenya pia watapuuza?
For me, I think Boni, the waziri kidogo, it's like he doesn't know who is dealing with. He's dealing with angry Kenyans. So Kenyans right now are angry, and you can't threaten them the way he's threatening people. Because if people want tomorrow Boni to be a holiday and everything to be brought to a standstill, everything will be brought to a standstill. So the PS has to find a way, Boni, to engage the public better, in a better way. You wanna see sending people threats, because at the moment, after sending those threats, utapata sasa people are going to attack him on social media, and they are going to try and retaliate what he's saying. So I think he has to find a better way of approaching the people. Okay, if you want to be on their good side, see kukuja na hiyo dictator attitude.
Kesho kama wewe ni public servant, fika tu kwa kazi, waangalie ni nini inaendelea hapo. Kesho waziri alisema pia watachangamka, waangalie nani mwenye atakuja.
Police stations za Kenya ikuwe ni police station ambayo inaunganisha wa Kenya na polisi. Watu waishi kama ndugu na dada kwa hiyo police station. Watembeleane. Ikuwe na community policing kati ya OCS na ofisa wake, wakuwe na uhusiano nzuri na wananchi wa sehemu hiyo. Na nyinyi wananchi, mkiona hata askari pale ako na shida namna hii, anataka apelekewe ndizi ama apelekewe nini, mnatembeleana. Hiyo ndio uhusiano. Sisi tumepewa jukumu la kisheria na tumepewa jukumu na nyinyi wananchi kuhakikisha kwamba wananchi wamekaa kwa amani. Na mwananchi yoyote ako na haki yake kufanya maandamano, lakini ikuwe ni maandamano ya amani. Ako na haki ya kusema, lakini maandamano yenye unaenda kuchomea ndugu yako duka yake, kupora mali yake, kuumiza mwananchi wa kawaida. Nilienda juzi baada ya ile maandamano ya Wednesday. Nilienda mahali inaitwa OTC Nyamakima bus station, na nilipata wamama wengine wajane wanalia kwa sababu mali yao yote imeporwa, na ni mali ambayo walikuwa nauza na wamechukua loan. Wewe unafikiria huyo mama mchane akienda nyumbani analia, huyo maskini akienda nyumbani akilia, wewe kweli utapata amani? Kwa hivyo tuko na jukumu ya kusimamisha mambo kama haya, na tumeambia polisi wetu ya kwamba tunataka police stations za Kenya ikuwe ni police station ambayo inaunganisha wa Kenya na polisi. Watu waishi kama ndugu na dada kwa hiyo police station. Watembeleane. Ikuwe na community policing kati ya OCS na ofisa wake, wakuwe na uhusiano nzuri na wananchi wa sehemu hiyo. Na nyinyi wananchi, mkiona hata askari pale ako na shida namna hii, anataka apelekewe ndizi ama apelekewe nini, mnatembeleana. Hiyo ndio uhusiano nzuri. Askari pia wakuwe na information nzuri na wananchi kwa mambo ya kazi ya kudumisha amani kwa taifa letu. Nimeambia askari wetu wakuwe wapole kama njiwa, wakuwe wapole na wazuri kwa wananchi. Lakini kama ni kupambana na majangili na wale ambao wanataka kuharibu mali ya umma, na wale ambao wanataka kuua wananchi wengine ama kuua polisi wawe wakali sana kuhakikisha wananchi wanadumishwa amani. Mnataka namna hiyo ama hapana? Mnataka nchi yenye polisi anafukuzwa? Hapana. Polisi anapigwa mawe? Hapana. Ati polisi amekimbizwa? Hapana. Tunataka nchi yetu ikuwe ni nchi ya amani. Na waomba wale wote wanajaribu kusema maandamano Jumatatu ama siku yoyote ingine yenye napanga, kujeni kwa maandamano kwa njia ya amani. Mtu aseme mambo yake kwa njia ya amani. Alafu nchi yetu iende ikasonga mbele. Ama
nchi itasonga mbele. Waziri wa usalama wa ndani Onesimus Kipchumba Murkomen anasema kesho maandamano ya amani. Karibu mzalendo. Tuambie pia maoni yako ni gani kuhusu kesho Saba Saba, and also if you're following us here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to Afrique 24 political discussion, our YouTube channel Afrique 24, and then you'll be part of this beautiful conversation here discussing about the politics of this country. Now Mzalendo, tell us, what do you have to say about tomorrow? Tomorrow we are having this politics happening, protesters coming out. What do you have to say about tomorrow, Saba Saba? In 1990, Kenya was declared a multi-party after the activists said that Kanu, no, not to Kanu, not to Kanu.
Okay, thank you, Bonnie, and good evening to those who are listening to this conversation, wherever you are. What I can say about tomorrow's demonstration, or rather Saba Saba demonstration, is that in 1990, when the Saba Saba demonstrations were first held between by Matiba, Charles Rubia, and Raila Odinga, the father, Jaramogi, and many other people who were on the Saba Saba front line, people like Martin Shikuku, they were fighting for something. They were fighting for a reason, yeah. So they marched. Most of them were, of course, battered by the police. They bled. Some were detained for the quest of freedom. Others were detained without trial for so many years until we got the multi-party democracy in our country. Now, today, many years later, after almost over 2 decades, these young people decided that they're marching forward. They're marching forward in their generation to say that enough is enough. But their parents are not on the front line like they did in the 90s. It is the young people now who are on the front line marching. All I can say is that demonstrations are legal in our country. They are not illegal. They only become illegal when you don't inform the police, or you destroy people's properties and things like that. So even as these young protesters march, I would like to urge the police and, of course, the young people that to protect the businesses and ensure that nobody infiltrates their demonstration. I don't know how they are going to do that, but if you've seen countries like South Africa and many other Asian countries, when they are in a protest, they have a particular dressing code that the protesters will be wearing at that particular time. And they also have designated roads. It cannot be just a random protest almost everywhere, paralyzing business and things like that. So we can have a good protest where people are marching saying whatever they want to say. They can assemble later on at Kamukuni and, demand for the kind of reforms that they want. And everybody at the end of the day goes home. I think this country has shed blood too much that it's no longer something that we want to see in the streets. These young people have died, many of them, and it will go in history. It will go in history, like the government of William Ruto was in a lot of chaos during his first term in office, or the first few years in office. There were a lot of demonstration. Many people were abducted, others killed. That will be part of the history. So people who are in government ought to know this very well, that they are now writing the history books. They will be there in the history books. In the answered in parliament, the issue of the Gen Zs will be there, and it will be part of our history. So I urge every Kenyan who is going to demonstrate, yes, follow the constitution of Kenya to the letter. Make sure that you demonstrate peacefully. And to the police, your work is to protect property. There is no country where civilians protect their property, especially in demos like this one. That will be chaotic. Leaders calling their people to come out to protect their property, they are calling for chaos. That is what I see. We saw it last time when young people were carrying clubs and all that. But at the end of the day, what did they do? They ended up raiding the same shops that they were supposed to protect. So this issue of pretending that you're protecting the CBD and all that, leave that work to the police. I know we don't have enough working. We don't have enough police officers in uniform, but I think the president can deploy the National Youth Service in some of these areas. So sometimes I don't know who advises the president, but the best thing is to deploy the National Youth Service to protect the premises of the business community, so that they are not raided by thugs. I will not call them protesters, but the people who are going to raid the shops, we will call them thugs, because that is the names that they deserve. They have got no capacity. They have no training to act as security to protect premises. So leaders who are calling out, we call those leaders out who are urging the youths that to go out and protect property. Otherwise, I think that is my opening submission. Thank you. I will be listening in.
Thank you so much, Mzalendo, for the wonderful submission. So we have Angela joined us in the show. Angela joins us in the show. Karibu sana Angela. Napotea sana. Tuambie maoni yako kuhusu kesho Saba Saba.
Mi niko habari.
Nzuri yangu.
Poa sana.
Ala.
Umepotea?
Hello Angie.
Hello.
Yes.
Mnanisikia?
Ndio.
Mzalendo, long time. Habari ya leo?
Tunakusikia vizuri sana. Ni wewe ndio unaongea alafu unanyamaza. Tuambie.
Sasa naona kama yangu bado ina shida.
Network.
Si tuko tunangoja tuone kesho venye kutakuwa, lakini mimi niliwaambia hata hao vijana wakiandamana a million million times President Ruto si wa kubadilika.
Lakini
ukitaka kujua ya kwamba maandamano yake wa mungoje.
Network yako ni mbaya sana Anje, tukusikii vizuri. Maybe you log in and log in back so that you can hear your voice properly. Ama munasikia Angela kweli?
Mimi simsikii.
Mzalendo, it's not real Gen Zs, it is the politicians goons already. Yep. Anju,
how you want me to go?
I've heard him crying today that he doesn't know how we want him to go home. I've heard him crying today. I saw him very mellowed. The usual bravado is not there. I saw him very mellowed, crying. Oh, people are saying Ruto must go. I need to understand how I need to go.
What do you mean? What do you mean by Ruto must go? How do I go?
The decision of how you go is yours. There are two ways you can make a decision. One, you can resign and go home in dignity. Two, you can wait for the people of Kenya to remove you through the ballot.
So what is this craze about terms?
I heard him today crying about one term. There's nothing he can do. That is the clarion call, one term.
And if it's a question of terms, the Constitution already has sorted out and settled the issue of terms. Terms are limited. You can either be one term, you can be two term. Maximum. You cannot have more than that.
Plan number one is William Ruto must exit the space.
Really?
President William Ruto must be sent home.
I can also go and concentrate on farming and help in food security. You know, if you have a better plan.
President Ruto says we have no plan. We have a plan to send him home. It's a very important plan in the whole matter.
Na kama hutaki kiongozi, ngojea uchaguzi. There is no problem. Ngojea uchaguzi upige kura yako.
Wewe Sabrano. Wewe Sabrano. Wewe Sabrano. Uliniahidi? Yes sir. Si nilitoa pesa? Yes sir. Si mlinihakikishia? Sasa hii ni mambo gani wewe Sabrano? So, si mliniambia hili kijini kifukuza wiki 3 atakuwa amesaulika?
Watu wananitutisha hapa sijui utachaguliwa one term. Hata ukichaguliwa wiki moja hiyo ni baraka. Unatisha nani na one term?
And solutions cannot be found in terms. Solutions are found in strategy and a plan.
I don't talk about half term. I want William Ruto to serve the remaining 2 years. Through the ballot, we take him home. But if he decides he's tired, the way he has talked today, asking how we want him to go, he has the opportunity, if he wishes, he can resign and go home.
Kama uchaguzi imekwisha. Tutarudi. Tunangoja mpaka tena uchaguzi mwingine ikuje. Alafu jitokeze. Fanya kampeni. Vile inafanyika katika nchi zingine. Kusema wewe utatoka, wananchi ndio watatoa mtu nje, sio wewe.
If you want Ruto to go, please, my simple advice to you, look for a better plan.
Hao watu hawatujui. They don't know us. Wanatuangalia tu hivi, wanatupima hivi, wanaona kama ni
Tribalism, according to William Ruto, is anybody who is not in his praise and worship team. But if you agree to sing his song, you are a nationalist.
Wanachochea mapinduzi.
And I don't think anybody wants to overthrow William Ruto. All this nonsense that there was a coup, they wanted to overthrow William Ruto, is all nonsense. It's just a Ruto boy is trying to hype him and cheat him so that he doesn't see the reality that Kenyans are agitating for reforms. Kenyans are agitating for good governance. They want to just lie to William Ruto that all this clamor you are seeing is not genuine. Kenyans are not angry. They still love you. They still support you. They are all lies. It was a coup. They want to overthrow you. That is all nonsense.
Umeingia police station. Umechukua bunduki na risasi. Si hiyo ni mapinduzi jameni? Ama kuna kitu kingine hapo?
Na tumeambia polisi mtu yoyote mwenye atakaribia police station piga yeye risasi.
Kipchumba Murkomen is a young, excited cabinet secretary, full of himself because of money and power. He cannot, against the law, give instructions to police to shoot to kill.
Ati anaenda kunyang'anya polisi bunduki. Ati atakuja kubembelezwa. Unafikiria bunduki ni mandazi?
Police station is is a public institution, and members of public have every right to go to a police station, even where you are protected areas like State House.
Lakini mtu mwenye anakuja kuchukua bunduki, lakini ati mtu atakuja ati anakuja kuchoma, ati anachoma police station. Wacha niulize nyinyi mtajenga hii police station? Mko na pesa ya kujenga hii police station? Mko nayo? Wewe kijana, ule unaongea mbaya hapa. Wewe uko na pesa ya kujenga police station? Na hii maneno unaongea mingi ni hata koti hatuna.
I had Kipchumba Murkomen telling police officers to shoot people and he'll protect them. That is a lie, and they should not believe him. And I want to tell the police officers, they have seen what has happened. The police officers who tortured and killed Albert Ojang today are in custody. They are before court on their own. They are facing murder charges. Yet the man who gave them instructions is at home doing his own things.
Na msiogope, wakati mtu amesha kuja police station, anataka kuchukua ofisi ya serikali, anataka kuchukua bunduki, anataka kukujia maisha yako, pita na yeye.
I think the CS Interior must respect the people of Kenya. People are not that stupid, you know. It is very evident.
Mmenisikia?
Yes sir.
Hii bunduki mmepewa hapa, mimi sijapewa. Na mkupewa ndio ikue decoration. Mtu akijaribu police station, anakuja kuchukua bunduki, anataka kupiga wewe maisha yako. Chiokoe kwanza. Hiyo story nyingine ya sijui ati ulifanya nini, hiyo tutafanya baadaye na mimi nitakuwa mbele kukutetea.
Don't take that stupid instruction from Kipchumba Murkomen seriously, because you shoot somebody, you'll be arrested and taken to court.
When you ban guns, when you ban a police station, you want us to celebrate you and bring you a birthday cake.
Unajua kuna watu wako na shida, wako na ugonjwa, wanasiasa. Ukienda mahali upigiwe makofi mawili matatu na wananchi, unajifanya wewe ni Mungu.
Even if you are mentally deranged, si unaona vile hawa wananchi wanataka.
Sikia wengine wakisema sijui mimi ni shujaa sana, ati hakuna mtu anaweza nishika. My friend,
hapo mnataka tuende, tutaenda na mimi niko mbele.
Wanajifanya wajuaji.
How can you assume that we don't have a problem in the country? Tuko na shida. And the sooner we all accepted that we have a problem, the better.
You cannot secure others if you are not safe. And for our men and women in uniform to be safe, we must give them the equipment.
Na hiyo mambo ya ugaidi, tutakuja tukuchukue na tukutafute kabla hata haujatoka kwako nyumbani. Hivyo ndio tunafanyanga na Al-Shabaab. Si mnajua mimi nimekuwa waziri wa usalama wa taifa? Ama mna hiyo habari? Si mimi for the last 2 years nilikuwa minister wa interior. Si mimi nilikuwa nakazana na bandits huko North Rift huko na wale wa Al-Shabaab wa Lamu.
So if the opposition are organizing these things and causing this, unangoja filimbi ya nani kukamata hao watu wa opposition?
Kamata watu.
Yeah, if you have facts about it, you are saying so and so is funding this, so and so is funding. Why are you telling us a story?
And I can see some of these boys on TikTok. They are wearing police uniform, calling themselves sergeants, and that they have taken over power.
And for our men and women in uniform to be safe, we must give them the equipment.
If you see goons in a police vehicle, who owns that police vehicle? That is the state. If you see goons wreaking havoc and police are just watching, you don't need rocket science to know who has sponsored the goons.
Wasichana kina mama wakabakwa. Mchana kutwa usiku kutwa.
Lakini mtu mwenye anakuja kuchukua bunduki.
Kipchumba Murkomen, you say you want to arrest me tonight, please just go ahead. I'm here, you know where I am. You don't even have to wait for this interview, you can come after this. Come and arrest me today. Go and arrest Kakuya, go and arrest Major Dom.
So you don't fear arrest?
We don't fear the arrest.
Na hata hiyo siasa wanajigamba nao, hata wawezana na sisi, they will not. Tutawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema.
Yes, that was the report I prepared earlier. I know Mzalendo enjoyed that one. That was a report I prepared earlier about the Kenya Kwanza DP Gachagua. Mzalendo, say something about that.
About no, that was a good report. At least there is something nice there, something informative. So what I can say is that again, you've just heard what Murkomen has been saying in front of the camera. So the police officers, you know what to do. You have got uh, a handbook that has got the code of conduct of a police officer. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. Right now, there is one officer who is probably going to jail for life. Is not going to come out anytime soon. The guy who shot the Oka who was selling what we call it what masks. So that guy is definitely definitely not going to come out anytime soon. But again, we should not arrive at a situation where there cannot be communication or a conversation between these young people and the government. The government ought to listen to what these young people are trying to say. I've said it many, many times. It is high time that we have a dialogue between the government and the young people. We don't want. I think the best is that no political class or politicians should be in this conversation, and they can elect or select a very, very credible people in the society so that they listen to what these young people are saying and adapt some of the measures that can push this country forward. These are not unreasonable voices. There is something that they are saying that we are blocking our ears, that we don't want to hear. And again, we are passing the blame to the opposition. No, no, no. I feel that that is a dishonest conversation. We need to be honest with ourselves and know that this conversation started with the young people called the Gen Zs. Their agitations has progressed to several things, from initially what they wanted to occupy parliament, to occupy state house, to whatever they are now fighting for, occupy the members, I don't know, houses or something like that. So it has been progressing into so many things. But when you hear the political class, especially those in government and those and a few in the opposition, they're just stamping. Uh, it's a grandstand. They want to show their might. That we have got numbers on this other side. Again, we have got numbers on this other side. So what are they doing? They are setting up Kenyans for Kenyan against the other Kenyans. You're being set up to fight your own brothers, but at the same time, their children are comfortable and their homes are well guarded. So we need to be very, very careful. Even the Gen Zs, when you're going for this protest, take a lot of caution because nobody wants to bury a child during this demonstration. We want them to come back home and to come back safely. Yeah, let them come back home, come back safely. And police, if you are supposed to use a bullet, use rubber bullets. Rubber bullets will not kill, but again will scare away the protesters. So that is the only uh, thing I can say for now. I'll be watching maybe what's happening in the demonstration. But again, best of luck to those young men who are going to go out there and protest peacefully. Those goons who are hired to come and protect property, I think that is what you need to really talk about. That they are not trained. They are not trained to protect any property. If the county government of Nairobi wanted to protect property, Mr. Sakaja should have just walked to the president's office and told him, "Okay, the business community are really suffering. What can we do in this particular issue, because the demonstrations will be definitely there, and we've seen what has happened. What do we do? The best answer, if we had a security team that thinks and worked very, very fast, would have been to deploy the National Youth Service in Nairobi. Yeah, because this is a service that is at the disposal of the president, so they can do something about it and deploy the National Youth Service in the streets. I think they should do that in order to avoid a lot of property destruction, especially coming from the goods. That is the take. Alex, are you there?
Yes, I am there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have come to the end of today's show, and it's 1:15 Kenyan PM time. So we wrap up this show. Tunarudi na ingine today, not tomorrow. But Kimanzi, we want to wrap up today's show, and I see some new faces hapa. I see Sangapi TV. Sangapi should consider subscribing to Freak 24. I see this guy called Comics, somebody called Comics, Matandiko Comics. They should consider subscribing to Africa. The link is provided in the comment section, and they will find some very nice videos up on our platform. We also have shows Monday to Monday, 10 p.m. Kenyan time. We also have a sports show, Dimba la Africa, which is held twice a week. So I'm seeing Sangapi, Matandiko, and anyone who is watching Africa from Facebook or any other platform, they should consider subscribing. We grow the platform. Currently, we are on the road to 180,000 views. So we thank the people who subscribe and watch the platform, and 1.4 thousand subscribers, road to 1.5 thousand. So thank you to everyone, and let us grow the platform. We have a new TikTok, Dimba la Afrique, which posts videos almost every day. So thank you to everyone. Over to you, Kimanzi.
Of course, in the comment section, I can see we have a lot of people there. So, Gypsy Corner, of course, I can see you there. I can also see, Sangapi, those who are following us from Mutembei. You just need to log in and subscribe to Africa 24. Then you'll be part of this conversation. You'll be part of Africa 24. You'll be joining us here live, and you'll also get a notification when you have this show taking place here live in Africa 24. Well, where are you following us from? Where are you following us from? Do you think tomorrow Saba Saba will also be peaceful, or it's going to be looters getting in and destroying properties of Kenyans? Because we are used to that. So Gypsy Corner, you are good. You'll go to heaven. Alex Mzalendo, you'll go to heaven. But Mzalendo, I am not very sure you also followed on what is happening in Kenya currently. The president, Mzalendo, I have not asked you this question. Do you think that the president is happy when it comes to what is happening when Kenyans are also planning for demonstrations? I have also seen SGR suspending transport from Nairobi to Mombasa. Kenyans who went to summertime. Mzalendo, we had summertime. Do you know we had summertime in Mombasa, where youth went to celebrate? But before that, I want also to give you a report I prepared about the politics we have.
Talk to my cousins. Ukifika Ukambani, hi cousins. Hi cousins. Hi cousins. Iko kijana mwingine ya Kasongo. Yule anaitwa bibi ya Ruto. Alikuwa analia jana machozi. Ati makazi wamependana. Yeye ameza wembe. Atajua hajui.
Mumesikia hiyo maneno ama bado haijafika huko kwenu? Imefika.
Na mbona hamsemi? Nia yangu, mpango yangu ni kuunganisha Kenya iwe moja. Kuunganisha watu wote, mandugu, cousins, mashemeji hai. Huyu anaongea na huyu, huyu anaongea na huyu, huyu na ule mwingine. Bas, Kenya inaenda mbele.
Sasa tutakuwa tuongei, tunaongea na message. Akitaka kuniambia kitu, na mimi namjibu. Tukiwa mkutano yeye akinitukana, mimi namtukana.
So twende polepole namna hiyo. Hakuna haja ya.
Anaenda Kirinyaga na tafuta mama hapo governor, anamwambia wewe utakuwa rais. Kichwa yake inaharibika. Anaenda Nakuru anatafuta governor, wewe ndio utakuwa rais. Kichwa yake inaharibika.
Lakini unajua hata mimi niliambiwa hivyo.
Hii urais ana promise watu zaidi ya 10.
Wewe unajuaje? Pengine bahati inaweza
na kuwapatia pesa na ndege wazungu.
Ukiwa deputy president iko makosa kuambia rais yesa. Mimi sio rais peke yake naambianga yesa. Kwa hivyo nikisema yesa iko makosa.
Narok mnasemaje?
And those are the people roaming the corridors of power and giving us lectures. What lecture are you giving us?
Nafikiria ati utanitisha mimi. Ati umenitoa kwa kazi, ati nitakosa umaarufu kwa hii jamii. Mimi ndio nilikuleta hapa. Ukatanganywa na Ichung'wa ati ulijilete, si ujilete sasa.
We have no time for tribalists and people who are incompetent and those who want to divide our nation.
Sasa unafikiria ati unapanga fujo Kenya ya kuharibu mali ya Wakikuyu na Wameru na Waembu. Alafu unatuma Kimani Ichung'wa bunge aseme ni Rigiji, ati ndio hii watu wachukie Rigiji. You think our people are stupid for a second time?
Mtu ya fitina, mtu ya ukabila, mtu ya share sijui mitego. Utashindana na nani kwa hii Kenya?
Hata sasa niko nje, ndio niko na nguvu zaidi ya kukinga hii jamii.
Musidanganye na wimbi na jipepo la Juni. Maji ya kupita Rigiji.
Turakuonera itiniwe.
Pia chuma unacho. Tena kinatokota sana jikoni. Na sisi hatumezi mate.
Kenya hakuna mtu naongea nani atakuwa rais. Wanaongea ni nani ataondoka.
We mlima, hata ujui inaitwa mlima. Unasema mlima.
Namwambia Kenya unajua, mimi sijui Kenya, lakini mlima mimi najua.
Kila wakati mlima. Ukiketi chini mlima.
Na hii mlima wewe si mmoja wetu.
Ate hai cousin.
Hawa ni watoto wangu. Those are my sons and daughters.
Ate hai cousin.
You are not one of us.
Ruto one time. Aende nyumbani one time.
And those are the people roaming the corridors of power and giving us lectures. What lecture are you giving us?
Siwezi kubaliana na wewe. Mimi ni bwana ya pasta.
Mimi nimekuwa mwinjilisti. Nikiwa university nilihubiri sehemu nyingi ya Kenya. Na mimi najua umuhimu wa watu ambao wanahubiri neno la Mungu.
The Bible is the most quoted text even by our leaders in government. That same Bible says, come now let us reason together. And then this is not rocket science. You don't need a PhD from Harvard to know we are headed the wrong direction. You can see it is written all over the place.
Na watu wawache wasiwasi. Mambo ya siasa bado.
Wanachoma vitu yao.
Lakini siku hizi wanaume wamesahau, wanatupiga na mapanga, wanatupiga na marungu, na Mungu aliwapatia kitu ambaye wanatakana kutupiga nayo.
Makosa tulifanya ni kwenda harusi na gari ya mtu mwingine. Sasa tumefika kwa mto, dereva anaitwa Kasongo amesema shukeni.
Ukifika nyumbani, mwekee maji moto mume wako. Mkande miguu mume wako. Mwambie mzee pesa zimeingia, kwa hivyo for today wacha tucheze ule mchezo wa Adam na Hawa.
Mumesikia hiyo maneno ama bado haijafika huko kwenu?
Huyu anasema nini, mchezo wa nini? Ala, mnajua hiyo mchezo? Mnaifurahia? Ni sawa si sawa?
Kwa sababu utamu iko wapi? Utamu iko wapi? Sema utamu iko ndani, nione kwa mkono.
Nasikia utamu.
Raundi ya pili. Hata ya tatu.
That's pathetic. From our MPs, that is, what are they saying there?
That was the end of the show. Yes. Thank you so much for those who have been following us. And Freak 24 will be covering tomorrow's Saba Saba protest live here. So keep tuned here. We'll be giving you the best updates on Freak 24. Yeah. Mzalendo, take over. Kabla tumalize.
No, I have no words. I have no words. I've watched those MPs, those members, those are supposed to be very honorable members, are saying those stupid, dirty things on air. So some of these things, when you see people who have been given the responsibility to set the moral standards in Kenya, saying all those stupid things, and that is why you say that our taxes are being wasted. When a leader comes that utamu wiko wapi, hizo ni ujinga mtupu tu wanaongea, and people want a serious debate on national issues, not that kind of satire zile wana promote. Yeah, if they want to promote sex, then they should go to the streets at night, waende Koinange huko wa promote utamu iko wapi. That's all I have to say.
Fantastic. Kefa Geoffrey, watching live from Thika. Thank you so much Mzalendo, thank you so much Alex. I'll be giving you those reports pole pole tu, nachuna moja mbili tatu hapo. Gypsy Kona karibu sana, and ilikuwa ni summer tight mimi sipendi sherehe, so I don't understand more about, but I know youth walienda huko, majenzi walienda huko kujibamba. Yeah, until we meet here same place same time, and we all say that it has been a wonderful show here when we are discussing about politics. Yeah.